long does it take to lose weight on a GLP-1 medication? Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, it's Allie. I'm on a fantabulous weight loss journey, and hopefully you'll come along for the ride. So this is a question that I see that is asked multiple times a day, every single day in the support groups. When am I going to start losing weight, and how long will it take me to get to my goal weight? So I want to talk about a couple of different scenarios just to give people an idea of setting realistic expectations. I think that there are many people who get on these medications and they have very, very little instruction from their doctor. And then they go into the support groups, they look at posts, and they end up having this unrealistic expectation that they're going to be losing 5 pounds a week and that the weight is just going to melt off. So let's start out with a few key points. The first one, you may not lose weight at the smaller doses. So these medications are set up so that you start out at the lowest dose and you titrate up at least every 4 weeks, meaning you take them for at least 4 weeks. You may take them longer if you're having good results or if you're struggling with side effects. So many people do not lose weight on the lowest dose. Lowest dose of Ozempic, Mounjaro, Wegovy, Zepbound. They don't start seeing weight loss or appetite suppression or increased satiety until the dosage gets higher. Now, at what point it kicks in is really going to depend on the person. And I know that people hate this answer because you want everything spelled out for you. And I get it. You're not going to know until you're taking the medication and you get to that point. There are some people where it doesn't kick in, at least for Mounjaro or Zepbound, until 7.5 or 10 or potentially higher than that. There are other people who don't have results until they reach the highest dose. So whatever the case may be, you need to be doing everything that you possibly can to give yourself that foundation so that once the medication does start kicking in and helping you lose weight, you're already in the process of setting up healthy habits, right? Increased hydration, prioritizing protein, getting that exercise in. All of these points are very, very important. So even if you're not having any appetite suppression, you want to make sure that you're still doing all of the other steps so that once it kicks in, it'll really kick in for you. The other factor that you're going to want to consider is your start weight. For those of us like myself who started at a much higher weight, it is going to take you longer to reach your goal weight. What does that mean? It means that on average, for anyone on this medication, you're going to lose anywhere from 0.5 pound to 2 pounds per week is considered healthy weight loss. Any more than that, and you're looking at potentially losing muscle mass. For those of us who started out at a much higher weight, anything from 250 and up, you may find that in the first month of taking your medication that you have this huge drop in weight. And some of that is going to be water weight, some of that is going to be inflammation, and some of that is going to be fat, and potentially some of it muscle mass as well, depending on how you're doing, if you're able to reach your calorie deficit goal. So there are a lot of different factors that go into it, but you need to set the expectation for yourself that any weight loss, whether it's 0.2 pounds or 2 pounds, is significant weight loss. And not every week is going to be the same. There are some people who consistently lose 3 pounds in a week, and then the next week they lose nothing. And then the following week, 3 pounds. And then the next week, they lose nothing. So you cannot have this mentality of all or nothing and really get caught up in what the scale is saying. You need to take a step back, reset those expectations and say, hey, this is a long-term health journey. So I'm going to get to where I need to be, but it's going to take time. You did not put on a whole bunch of weight overnight or in 3 months. You're not going to lose it in 3 months. So just get that out of your head. Additionally, if you are someone who is starting at a lower weight and you don't have as far to go to meet a healthy weight, for example, 50 pounds or less, it is going to take you longer to get to that point, specifically once you get closer to that goal weight. And that's true of anybody, no matter what your start weight was. The closer you get to your goal weight, assuming that you have a realistic goal weight in mind, it's going to become more challenging to reach that goal weight. So you just want to keep that in the back of your mind. So I want to show you my little notation over here about how I average per month. I lose, like I said, anywhere from 0.5 pound to 2 pounds a week. And there was only 1 week that I did not lose weight, and that was the week that I found out that I was getting laid off from my job. I'm okay now. If you're new here, I found another job and I'm okay. So please, no need for concern. But generally speaking, I average anywhere from 6 to 10 pounds per month, which again is healthy weight loss. And as a side note, I'm also diabetic, so it can be more challenging to lose weight as a diabetic. You will also want to consider your health conditions, right? And how those may affect your weight loss. If you're taking steroids, if you're taking an anti-inflammatory, if you're taking other medications to treat PCOS, Hashimoto's, autoimmune disorder, whatever the case may be, blood pressure medicine, whatever the case is for you specifically, if you are noticing that you're not losing weight, you're tracking your food, you're in a calorie deficit that is reasonable, you may want to talk to your doctor about, hey, are these other medications that I'm taking holding me back with my weight loss? And the other reason why I want to mention this is because if you are someone who does not have a diabetic diagnosis, your insurance company is going to be scrutinizing how much weight you lose each month. And I'm so sorry to have to say that, because it can be extremely frustrating, especially if you're one of those people that at a lower dose, the medication is just not kicking in enough yet, and you're not gonna know when it's gonna kick in. So it can be very challenging to have to work around the stipulations for weight loss with your insurance company. I highly recommend that you call your insurance company and you get all of the information about what their rules are. Some insurance companies require that you lose a certain amount of weight each month. Some insurance companies require that you have labs done every 3 months or every 60 days, or, the list of rules goes on and on and on. And insurance companies are changing them, every few months. So I highly recommend that you make yourself aware of what the rules are so that you know what it is that you need to do. And it can be very challenging when you're first starting out, because it adds a layer of additional pressure. Not only do you need this medication to work so that you can lose weight, but now your insurance company is, looking at you with a magnifying glass going, how much weight did you lose this month? That's not enough, right? Like we need any more pressure when we've already yo-yo dieted our whole lives, right? I won't get off on a tangent. You need to know what your requirements are so that you're not blindsided by them and receive a letter saying, hey, you didn't meet our requirements this month. We're dropping this medication so that you can't have it covered anymore. And then you're either having to pay out of pocket or go to compound. So know what your insurance requires and be ready to make sure that you meet those goals. So on average, if you are looking to lose 100 pounds or more, you need to go ahead and, again, set those realistic expectations. It's going to take at least a year. Can some people do it faster? Sure. Can some people take longer? Absolutely. But on average, if you need to lose 100 pounds, assuming that you are a responder to the medication, it's going to take at least a year. And again, some of those people are not going to start losing weight until they reach the higher doses. So it's very important that you have good communication with your physician about what's happening, what side effects are happening. Are you seeing results? Do you need to go up in dose or stay at the dose you're on because you're getting results and you're just going to ride it out? Because remember, you don't want to just shoot up to the highest dose as fast as you can, because people get used to the medication. And once you've reached that highest dose, your options are very limited when it stops working for you. So you want to titrate up as slowly as you can and stay on doses that continue to work for you. For example, 2.5 Mounjaro worked well for me for 13 weeks. Then I had to titrate up to 5, and now I've been on 5 ever since, and I've lost 72 pounds over the course of all of it. So it's really important that you stay on top of it, you have good communication with your doctor, and that you're doing everything you possibly can. The last bit that I want to mention is, as you lose weight, you need to make sure that every 20 or 30 pounds that you are recalculating your calorie deficit. It may not change, but you want to make sure that you're checking it, because that is a significant amount of weight loss, and you may need to adjust your calorie deficit so that you can continue to lose weight. I cannot tell you how many people will get to like where I am. Oh, I've lost 60 or 70 pounds, and now all of a sudden I've hit a stall, and I've stalled for a month. I don't understand what's happening. And I say, did you recalculate your deficit? And they go and look at it, and their number has completely changed. So just keep that in mind. As you come down in weight, you do need to be checking that calorie deficit, especially if you hit a stall. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe. I'd love to have you along for the ride. Make sure you check out my other helpful tips and tricks that I have listed on my channel. There are a ton of videos that cover every topic you can possibly think of. Insurance, compound, side effects, treating side effects, things to have at home, recipe ideas. I've got you covered. So go check out my other videos. If you're looking for a positive only, safe support group, link is in the description box below. And as always, be kind, rewind.